do have a lot to talk about overall. It's been a heck of a week. So it seems like bear market has started for XRP. If you have been watching my videos, guys, smash that like button because we keep it real on this channel. We're talking exactly what we need to and show what we need to, right? And we don't sugarcoat things. I said if we're going below $2, this is what's going to happen. And, you know, exactly this scenario has happened, and now we're pushing towards lower lows. Notice how over here we have seen 1.86. So it seems like we're retesting this area. So there's two possible scenarios. It pushes up to 187. If you guys don't know what I was talking about, 187 is a resistance level. Or the other possible scenario is the bear market has started, which is like 80% chance right now. This is the 80% chance scenario for XRP. This is why, personally, I'm going to be opening a short in my position. This could go both ways, but since a big whale, we have seen some sell-offs over here. It keeps me worried for XRP. We were kind of, unexpectedly, we were seeing a lot of problems in XRP community. Like we were at the highs of 3.66 and now we're 50% down. And this is what I've been warning you guys will happen. So I'm going to open a trade, a small position. Let's go 1K, and I'm going to short it. Because personally, I think if this goes below 1.7, we're going to be entering a free fall. So I'm going to be taking a profit on 2bit, links in description below. But you can pretty much see that, we can take profit at this one even at 25%. Because XRP is going to go to what? If 1.91 is reached, if you do a long or short, you can actually check over here. If XRP goes down even like 50 to 1.75, which I think is a possible scenario, I think we will further rebound a bit up. So I'm going to open a smaller short. This is literally the most key area, but every time we try to make it better, right? The XRP army has failed, unfortunately. And right now, I am in a stage where I feel like this big whale, which has sold at 2.7, was right all along, that we are entering a bear market. So yes, I will open a short. I will take a profit once it reaches 157. But this could be a further downtrend at this point, guys. So we go over here on 2bit, link description below. We can take a position once we take a profit, once it's 1.83 or once it's like 25%, we can cash out. But we're also going to stop loss if we're like a 2% loss. Because I do expect it goes up. So our stop loss at max, which you should never do, is going to be like a 15% stop loss. So that's pretty bad already, but at least you'll be safe. Like at this point, I'm taking a 10% stop loss, and it does seem like XRP right now is not looking too great. Mostly because we are entering a price point where Bitcoin cannot sustain this level, that we have been wanting it to sustain, 86,000. And I said, if it cannot hold above 95,000, I told you guys what's going to happen. If Bitcoin is not above 95,000, it doesn't push out. This is what I said in my last video. I told you guys it's going to look bad. It's going to be a decline. There could be a huge, smaller rally. But again, it's Christmas. It's the time when people are historically buying the most. And now suddenly we don't have this type of opportunity. It keeps me kind of worried in that sense. Like, where do we go from here? So it really does make you wonder. It's going to be a big question of what, if, and when. Like, what's the next price plan at this point? So yeah. Personally, here's what I think for Bitcoin and all these is that now, if you go back to March 2019, we basically are back at those levels, right? So very big problem. Let's check some other XRP price predictions as well. Let's see what other people have said for XRP. XRP price prediction. And we can actually check. This is bad news for XRP. Look, I got multiple people agreeing with me here. And I told you guys this is what's going to happen.
Today, we had a nice local bottom, which was...
So yeah, this is why I opened a short on my account, guys, on 2bit. Smash that like button if you haven't already. But I have called that XRP, if it cannot sustain above $2, it's gonna get bad. And I still think so, not financial advice, but I still think that's gonna happen.
Was expected if you watched my video yesterday, but ultimately, I mean, how far did the bottom reach? Not that far. Bitcoin at the moment is also not looking amazing. We'll take a look at that, right? We'll take a look at the relative strength right now of XRP against Bitcoin. We'll take a look at all the relevant fundamentals for XRP and for Ripple as well. And then I'll try to prepare you as well as possible for everything that's going on with XRP. Now,
I'm going to go with perpetuals. I pretty much made the same graph, like going downhill. The perpetuals are the same. If you open like a $3 trade, it shows you exactly what it needs to show. It's not looking that well. It's not looking that great. Especially when you have something like this, you know, in the plan. It's a scary, scary thought here.
First of all, I quickly wanted to set the record straight, okay? Because there have been some
That's
comments.
why I'm opening a short. I am opening a short over here because I personally think that, yeah, it's going to get nasty for XRP. So let us sell a short here. So we opened a short already, and you can see here, this is my live balance that I'm trading. If you guys want to join me, link in the description below, but let's check this video out.
Calling me out, right? Because what I told you on Sunday and last week is I think it's most likely that with the, you know, major support level being $2 and 1.98, I said, okay, I think it's most likely we can actually break that downtrend that we had, because there was a downtrend going on, as you can see on the 12-hour time frame as well right here. I think we can break that, and I think we can rally back up to 2.18 and 2.2. I was wrong about that. I agree, although I did tell you a couple of times that we were compressing against support, right? So that it was getting trickier in general for XRP to break out. But then all of a sudden comments are telling me that I'm always wrong about XRP. Well, and most of you know this, but if you watch my previous videos in November and December, like this dump, this rally right here, this rally right here.
This is what I told you guys. The whales are taking profit. You gotta realize the whales are simply like the candles you see. You cannot be against the candles. What the candles mean, guys, is that what we have is like a Christmas spirit. The whales want to take money. The whales need their Christmas gifts, and this is how they see it. They buy low and sell high. It's that simple.
Here, I predicted all of those, right? So yes, I was wrong about this technically, but ultimately my accuracy on XRP is still incredibly high, I would argue, and my win rate when it comes to trading XRP is also still very positive. But okay, just to set the record straight, okay? Sometimes it gets to me, okay? Because I put a lot of time in these analyses. And I think they're very solid analyses. And then when you're wrong once, that's normal. But don't nail the coffin based on one prediction. But okay, let's get to XRP. Too much rambling. I'm sorry. But right now, what you can see is that we still actually did get ETF inflows, which is quite strange. It's not major. I mean, definitely not if you compare to last week or 2 weeks ago.
So there is ETF inflows, but it just means that whales are buying right now. That's all it means. These ETF inflows, they are not like retail. They are people who have bought before, and if you literally check my trade, you can see it here that the whales are selling XRP.
Ultimately, it's still $20 million, which does matter, but it seems to me, I mean, these ETF flows, they do matter, but it feels like most of these ETF purchases are coming from OTC, right? So what that means is that,
so that's gonna affect
that seems
the
very
price,
likely that you know, Ripple itself probably still holds a lot of XRP, and it's much cheaper for these ETF issuers to buy the XRP OTC from Ripple, right, than to buy them from the open markets. So it's unlikely that we're going to see a massive shift in the price of XRP right now, just because the effect that the ETFs have on supply and demand,
that's probably saving them thousands of dollars anyway,
and are very much suppressed, at least for now. Ultimately, it does have effects, but for now, not amazing. Now, the key zone that I also told you about yesterday for Ripple is $2, 1.98. Incredibly important support level on the higher time frames. We have the 200 EMA. Most importantly, we have the value area low, and it's a strong psychological level. As long as we are trading below that, I think you have to be relatively bearish. And then the price action definitely.
It could be the bear market start. It could be the bear market is just like a few days, few weeks. No, it's probably going to be a few months.
It also doesn't help if you look at the tape for Bitcoin.
You can even see that the whales are trying to hold it up, but it's not like a huge rally is happening.
That also doesn't help. We have some buys coming in for Bitcoin, but ultimately they're not really moving the price. And XRP is very correlated to Bitcoin, of course, right now for 87%, which is crazy. But then we're leaving this liquidity grab here, this liquidity gap here to the upside. We fill half of that, then get a rejection already. So technically not great because we're trading below $2 and we're getting some rejections here on the lower time frames. Fundamentally, Ripple is not doing bad, I'd say. But unfortunately, fundamentals in crypto do not always translate to short-term bullish price action.
So it seems like, because it's month December, we have learned that it does not automatically mean that we are going to have, a massive bull run rally. You can't trust these whales.
So I have to say that I have to be relatively bearish on XRP here. The key support level we have close to us is right here at 1.84, 1.82. I think for now we can hold that. If we fail to hold that, which I'll keep you updated on, of course, in the next couple of days, next support level would probably be the area that we spiked down into during April, which was sitting right here at 1.75. So I'll keep you updated on that. Generally, what I would expect for XRP right here is that we are still forming some sort of...
I feel like we're trying to find a new low right now with XRP. That's the plan. Find a new low, then see where this new low is. Look, same with other altcoins. What's happening with Terra Luna Classic? Let's check this out. Terra Luna Classic. I got a special heart here for Terra Luna Classic. My last prediction was saying that it's going downhill, but I was pleasantly surprised. People are going to be taking profit. People were saying this is going to drop. Seems like what we're seeing right now, I have a position open on XRP. Should I open a position as well on Luna Classic? I think so. Like a lot of these whales sold it out.
NC holders. Today was a very interesting day in the cryptocurrency market.
If you check here, I said it's going to continue to go downtrend. It was 2nd December, but we did see a massive rally. So I was wrong on that part. I was actually wrong, and I want to apologize. I said we're going to I didn't expect this rally, and this was kind of pretty big because we hit a new support level, basically the best all-time high this year, which makes you consider there's tons of burns. Like people were telling me down in the comments, there are burns, there are things that, make Terra Luna Classic still out there. It's just that like the majority of people have left.
Although we thought everything went as planned, the FOMC meeting couldn't have gone much better. 25 basis points reduction in interest rates for the federal funds rate, as Jerome Powell came up, gave his remarks, and talked about how Trump tariffs are basically the only thing that they're worried about for inflation. They still have that 2% goal to get the inflation down to. But again, now the federal funds rate is sitting at 3.5 to 3.75 percentage points. So with that being said, we were expecting...
That's good, but we got so many rate cuts, people are saying it's not doing anything.
We're expecting that in addition to them mentioning quantitative easing, they're going to be buying treasury.
This is what's going to really, really change. If Treasury starts buying, they have the most money.
Treasury bills over at the Federal Reserve beginning December 12th for the next 30 days. So we're entering QE. The market reacted initially where we saw Bitcoin go above $94,500. We saw Ethereum rally to 3,400. We even saw LUNC have a really nice intraday run up over, I think at peak, right around 67 Satoshis, we'll call it. But the weirdest thing that happened in intraday trading was this really big dip that went from, let's call it 6,500 Satoshis.
This could be an error though. Is this really a dip? Because I don't see it here. It must be an error. I think this was like some sort of a graphic error or maybe an exchange error providing wrong data. I'm not too sure how that can happen.
All
But guys, if you want to trade on 2bit, don't forget. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's watch Luna Classic.
the way down to 0.000. It added a 0.6. So basically, this weird pump and dump, and a lot of people are calling it maybe some kind of arbitrage bots that came in and bought a big amount of supply and sold a bunch of supply. We know that there's MEV bots that are also within the cryptocurrency
Like bots are making tons of bank, like big monies.
sphere, if you will, or the cryptoverse. But again, I'm not too worried about that one single candle because the recovery right after was literally within a split seconds. We saw the rally back to where we were, and the momentum continues to hold. Oftentimes when coins or stocks short squeeze into short term, we see them rally followed by significant dumps. But
Seems like this rally tells you enough. This rally literally happened, what, on 6th of December, so I missed out on it. But it tells you that people are still talking about Terra Luna Classic. Like, it's not going anywhere. The community response I'm getting is absolutely fantastic. It tells you that people have not forgotten about it. And, you know, we're hearing more about the court updates. It makes a lot of people wonder where we go from here. So this is going to be the issue right now. Is Terra Luna Classic 127? It's not that far off from top 100 again. Again, one small rally like this, it could literally go back to December 2024 levels. But again, is the updates and the burns going to be enough? I think not. I think they need way more than these burns. 337 million market cap is good, but it's simply not enough. And, you know, people are calling for further downtrend and the community is divided.
we not only held up and are showing a new support line right around 49 to 5,000 Satoshis, 4,900 and 5,000. But we're looking at some pretty amazing price predictions that are coming in from the global market and analysts alike. So that's what we're going to be highlighting in today's video, is talk about LUNC, how high we can go. A lot of people also commented on my previous videos talking about how 1 cent is impossible, how $1 is impossible.
It is impossible. At least, like, if you want to be at 1 cent, you got to basically replace it with $1.
But they need to understand that
By the way, this red candle we have right here is people taking profit.
happened to LUNC coin, right? This big dump from $119 at all-time high back in 2022, and then the depegging of USDT, or excuse me, UST, the US Terra stablecoin. When that occurred, the coin, a lot of coins and tokens went into circulation, meaning it became a very inflationary token, if you will, that caused not only the diluted FDV to increase, the total supply of the Luna tokens to significantly enter into circulation.
People want to see coin burns. There's trillions and trillions that people were minting. I'm not too sure because of this rare bug that happened. I'm not too sure if this can ever be resolved. Like, there's the trillions and trillions of this that can be minted.
And you could see the volume per market cap at 82.13% nowadays. Circulating supply, there's about $1 trillion that's out of circulation, but 5.5 trillion went into circulation. And that's what oftentimes happens during these collapses that makes it seem like an impossible task to go back to all-time high. Even if we go back to all-time high from a market cap perspective, that only puts us at maybe another 100x or so if we want to go back to $30 billion.
I mean, that would be amazing if we do a 100x to 30 billion. Means it would be big as XRP, but XRP literally has one of the biggest companies right now. Has 700 employees. It's building something. Like the developer team here at Terra Luna Classic is building, but it has way less funds. It's much smaller. It's like the same vibes I'm getting with SHIB. But there's going to be people who are always going to love it no matter what. Like, going to support it no matter what. And that's what I love to see in this space. This is why I started my YouTube channel. And that's what you see. Like, the embodiment of this is like some people will never give up on Luna Classic or bought it at a very cheap rate in August 23 and are now holding it, hoping it goes up. Some people are very mad and are holding it since 2022.
Valuation at 400x. But again, with that, we need to see 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 X's from here on out. But what people are misunderstanding is the fact that we could see burn mechanisms that reduce the circulating supply, create a deflationary token, and bring down the token supply like it once was. Instead of so much being in circulation, we're talking billions of coins, no longer into trillions and trillions of coins. So let's go ahead and talk about the price prediction that was posted on Binance Square, because I think it's pretty significant.
I want to see what happens with XRP next.
Brokerage. I personally use it for my XRP.
So yeah, it kind of makes sense. I did make price prediction on 2bit. I also should open a trade here for XRP. Like I already was holding some XRP. Personally, I mean, at this price point, it's literally the price point of what it was at its lowest. No, actually, it's lowest it's ever been. I might have been too late. I could have bought it at 2.08. It's now like 0.4. I feel like some whales are going to dump it further until we reach like the low, new resistance low, because they are just selling it off. But after that, we should be bullish. So I would personally like at least go slightly higher. If it's anything's going to happen, it's not going to be this cycle. It's going to be next one.
22. Digital coin price, LUNC could rise a minimum to 56,000 Satoshis. But I think on the other hand, the forecast maximum is sitting at, yes, eating a zero, putting us at 13,700 Satoshis. Right now we're at 6,153 Satoshis. But I think, again, with all of these different price predictions that are coming out in the market and ones that are surfacing in today's different blog posts, different YouTube videos, you call it, you name it, the most important thing to make sure we understand is a lot of these numbers are looking directly and strictly at market cap. Where they're coming up with these values, 200-300% gains. Remember, when short squeezes occur, all of these numbers are going to be thrown in the garbage. It's going to surpass most investor expectations, as we're going to expect rallies to not only go into the double digits or the triple digits. We're talking 4-5 percentage digits up. So I'm talking 4,000, 5,000, 6,000% in the span of 3 days, 5 days. Compound that over time, especially during a bull market. LUNC can and has a very good setup that could send it significantly higher. And they're even putting out 2030 price predictions where it's...
I mean, this is going to be the thing. Why would people buy it for 20 to 30% price prediction up? So who knows? Like, you gotta ask yourself. If people buy this, what makes it go up? What makes the whales buy this on? So it could be the development. What makes them buy it instead of XRP? Let me know that in the comments below.
It's going to be 3 zeros and a 3, but I think a penny is definitely on the table. I know they're not considering burn mechanisms, but I think it's one of those things that we should not overlook. In addition, over on Twitter, I mean,
they are considering burn mechanisms, pretty sure. Didn't they do like some burn mechanisms on exchanges as well? Binance is burning, if I'm not mistaken. Could have been some time ago.
Most interesting also is what's happening from a global macro structure. I think a lot of people are looking at it as this, and let's see what Tyler has to say. Another rejection off key liquidity while in a bear flag. Not loving the smell of this price action short to midterm. Would like to see something big to get us out of the mud.
I mean, I kind of agree with that. It's not looking good. Like, down from 17 cents. Can we even reach 17 cents again? Now, that's the question that a lot of people have. It's the $1 million question because nobody knows. But again, we saw this with a lot of projects like Haspa and other.
And I agree. I do agree that right now the market is showing a lot of bearish tones. But the government here in the United States is doing everything in their possible pockets and everything they possibly can to get us into this full-fledged bull market. And Trump said himself, the president of the United States, that the stock market should continue to go up. Jerome Powell says we will deliver 2% inflation, like I mentioned earlier in the video. And he said we will do everything that we need to make sure we get there. It is really just the tariffs that is causing most of the inflation overshoot.
This is the one thing that's really keeping like all of these coins together at this point. It's just a hope for another rally, but I wouldn't bet all my eggs in one basket.
Now, the Fed thinks job gains are overstated by 60,000 in recent months, so they're seeing a weakening labor market. And Jerome Powell also mentioned that interest rates will stay the same or B, cut a little or cut a lot. I don't think a rate hike is anyone's base case. So,
I mean, the rate hikes, quantitative easing, treasuries, I mean, all of that could really change the price, but it's not. It's not, and it keeps me worried at this point. Where are we going from here? So it's gonna be a big question. It's gonna be a big question of what if and where to go. I'm hoping for more. Let's check it out.
showing again that there is some form of confidence in addition.
There is like people talking about it, but again, a lot of people have left because of the promises of the big rally we were talking about. So it makes you wonder where to go from here. So it's hard for me to call it properly, because right now I'm not too sure on the whales. The whales have sold their Luna Classic, but I'll keep you guys updated with more news. We do have 2 more videos on the line.
Welcome back
here.
to the Crypto ZX channel. So according to the Bitcoin Core,
So yeah, Crypto ZX, what's next for the price? This one is what I really love.
went over what is happening as far as the broader market is concerned, but we're going to touch a little bit more specifically on LUNC to see what's going on. As you can see across the board, again, some coins ranging down up even to 12%, but we're pretty much down from a 5% all the way up to 12 to 13%, depending on what coin you're looking at. But again, the broader market down, and quite a significant pullback as we started off the week. If you're looking at,
it's not been looking good for Terra Luna Classic, but this rally really pushes forward. I mean, a lot of people said, oh, this is whale manipulation when we saw this a few weeks ago. No. Some whale had to buy very, very big. At least they got a small rally. They didn't get much for years. They just got sideways trading to the point where people sold off and left at a loss. Now, finally, we're getting some news, right? So smash that like button if you're a Luna Classic supporter, because I did make a prediction, like downtrend is possible. But I was caught. I was caught away with how well Terra Luna Classic did right now. And that is, we're seeing here on 2bit that I am going to be opening a long at that point. So a smart long would be possible. Again, I do think it's going to drop a bit lower to find a new low. So I'm just going to open it right here with a profit stop loss, 15, 10, 2%. Stop loss. So we're going to be seeing here, bam. So sell a short, 2%, 15, open the short, and that's it, and sell it. So yeah, it does make sense to open a small stop loss here. I already opened it if you guys didn't know. Obviously, I could be totally wrong, and we will get just stop lossed out because it's already 1%. It seems like it's rallying back up. It's trying to find a new ground on where to go from here. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, let's check
LUNC,
this.
it is also down about 2.8% with the price currently sitting at 39.62, still 4 zeros in front of the price. But on the Bitcoin side of things, we're actually up a little bit, about 0.3%. Valuation still holding above 200 million, to be exact, $217 million as of recording this update, and the 24-hour trading volume at 42.9 million. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, focus on the dominance. And again, I've talked to you guys about the dominance every single day of the week. And, that's something we kind of want to be looking at, as to, what's really going on. So as far as the dominance is concerned, see for yourself, we're currently sitting at 59.17%. And, we've...
So look at this. I like this Bitcoin price analysis, but it does seem like a downtrend is happening, because if Bitcoin can't hold up, I can assure you Luna Classic cannot either. It's just because the whales get afraid and sell everything.
As we started off a new week, because Bitcoin was literally sitting at a level where it could have either broke back into the 0.50, or we are going to be retesting, this 86K key range. But that's what ended up happening. And you can see, we retested this key range for the first time since the beginning of the month. And as long as the price of, Bitcoin is able to remain above 86K key range, that's good. We need to gradually, obviously, make our way back into the 0.50. But if we, drop below here, As I stated before, the chances of us retesting, December 1st lows are definitely on the table, which we actually almost retested today as well. But if you're looking at LUNC coin, so of course it's down once again a little bit more, from where we were yesterday. And again, obviously the entire market kind of going down is not really helping LUNC, but
I mean, Terra Luna Classic is really like it had 3 years to build. And at this point, a lot of people who will stay here, like they're diamond hands. They're not going to sell for nothing. So that counts for something. Like the price analysis we have here, it tells you a pretty clear story. A lot of the retail, they sold out. But some of the whales, some of the whales are selling and making their money, which is fine. This is how crypto works. I've been saying this for 5 years now. But it kind of makes you wonder, what's the next plan, right? What's the next plan for XRP here for Terra Luna Classic? And obviously, we saw these patterns again and again. 0.27, 0.23. It's forming lower lows until when is the bottom? It kind of makes me afraid. Meme coins got completely destroyed.
is,
And
having
Terra Luna Classic got completely destroyed this cycle.
overall performance on the 24-hour scale better than the broader market, because if you look at the large caps right now, large caps are down 5-10%. So obviously LUNC is not considered a large cap, and it's down, of course, but it's not seeing 8 to 9% pullback, which kind of tells you something specific. And what I'm trying to get at is, because let's face it, this thing has pretty much been in this downwards trajectory over the last 1 week almost. Again, if you want to put this into perspective, you could see for yourself, LUNC has gone down 42.4%. So it has pretty much been already in this downwards trajectory, while the entire market was still hovering, with Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was sitting at the likes of $90,000. But, we did see LUNC pretty much start to make its way towards the downside since then. But again, with that said, there is significant support that we're currently sitting at right now. If this does not hold, as I stated to you guys before, the 3,300 zone that is on the table as of now, we're being still supported by that key range, but the 3,300 zone is a 13% pullback. So if we lose this support, from where
This is what I've been telling you guys. Again, how can we hold this support? I already got stopped loss. Like, I already got a stop loss, right? Because it seems like some support is building, but it's not strong enough to go further back down. It's going to look very bad if this, like, all this rally gets negated.
we currently are. That is the next key target to be looking forward to for LUNC. But today, obviously, as we started off a new week, the broader market, as we stated, has gone down. But you're looking at LUNC. Of course, it's also down, but it's not seeing like 8-9% pullback. And that kind of ties back to what I just said. It has already seen, a 42% pullback over the last 6 days alone.
So 6 days alone, but it did see also a huge rally. So you got to consider that. Further down, it needs to hold this key area or it's gonna look bad. Let's take a look at what's happening for XRP. 1.86, bad news for XRP. Obviously, Crypto ZX, I have been watching his channel, but Ripple XRP ETF inflows remain strong despite tough market conditions.
So according to the big
XRP news today, pretty awesome news overall.
Coin quarterly returns, as you can see for yourself, we are seeing, pretty much the most bearish Q4 since.
This is one of the worst Q4s. Like, Christmas is canceled, guys. This is since 2018. Like, December should be the positive year all around, but suddenly, like, we're getting promises of a massive bear market and it's just not happening yet.
Since 2018. Again, and obviously 2018, one thing we want to kind of keep in mind was a bear market. And, the
2018, like, and that was a smaller market. Now it's bigger. And smash that like button, guys, if you haven't already. Now we're seeing a bigger bear market and it's becoming more and more scary. XRP, I predicted this right. We're further downtrend until something we need a major catalyst to see XRP push outwards. It's making lower lows for the past 5 month-ish. Seems like we are entering a bear market, my friends. It's becoming a very big problem. This is why I'm still bearish, because the whales are still taking profit and they're going to take profit until like $1, $1.5. This is literally, they can just take profit because they're still going to be in the green. So yeah, all the way from 3.66, they can just DCA sell, right? because they bought it at 0.4 cents. You see huge whale buys at 0.7. They can just sell it for double.
Valuation in 2018 for the broader market was very low compared to where we are right now. So again, still about I would say week and a half left for the year of 2025 to come to an end. So we'll see.
I mean, week and a half, I don't think anything is going to change.
How that ends up playing out. But welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP family. Thank you so much for all the love that you guys show on these regular day-to-day updates. If you're looking at XRP's price right now, it's up about 2%, give or take, but we're seeing about a 60-40 split, meaning 60% of the market is seeing a little bit of a bounce, remainder 40 still lagging, as you can see across the board. But again, if you're looking at the price of XRP, $1.91 as of recording this update, up one.
I mean, it's changing so much, but it seems like pretty clear that the macro trend is negative at this point. It makes me kind of afraid because, well, if it, I understand it can't hold 366, but it can't even hold 1.73, 1.87. If it goes below here, I'm still going to be scared. This is like the first support line. I've been telling you guys about support lines. 1.87 is the support line for XRP, and it's right above these levels. It's forming higher lows, and it's going to continue. Notice how 1.87, it got stopped out at April. How a big whale sold here at 2.8. I got to check the order books as well, but you get a pretty clear idea of what's happening. And I'm using 2Bit, guys, by the way, link in the description below if you want a free XRP bonus and a competition. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, here we go.
1.3% on the Bitcoin side of things. Valuation $116.1 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at 2.7 billion. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So even though we're seeing, a nice bounce for majority of the market, I want you guys to, not forget what's happening over the last 1 week and, of course, over the last 1 month. Again, on the monthly time frame, XRP price is down about 17% as of now. But let's take a look at, the spot volume. So again, we did see about 20 million, pretty much same to,
I mean, 20 million. Yeah, it's nice, but look at Bitcoin, $1 billion is pretty much the way of the game, where no Santa Claus rally, XRP holding on to the RIP 1000 XRP. That would be awesome. I mean, I would love a Santa Claus rally, but it does not seem like it's gonna happen with one week left, basically. It just does not seem likely.
Where we were yesterday for the XRP spot ETF volume. But again, the streak continues, and not only that, focus on this right here. Solana and XRP spot ETF saw net inflows. So, Bitcoin saw an outflow, Ethereum saw an outflow, Solana about 3.6 million. Out of all these four, who's coming at the top? XRP once again,
XRP wins in terms of like 10 million flows, Solana 3.64, Ethereum 220 million, Bitcoin 227. I mean, those are big whale games, but look, we were in billions. We're in billions during the bear market, like bull run. It doesn't seem like that's happening now.
So Tom Lee has, just dropped a massive reminder, despite all the uncertainty around price levels right now, the fundamentals have never looked stronger. With pro-crypto U.S. legislation, Wall Street building on blockchain, and market 200x larger, still untapped, the runway is huge. According to Tom Lee, in crypto, the best years are definitely ahead. And again, it's not rocket science either, because when you just make the comparison as far as the markets are concerned, we're still seeing crypto very low in terms of market cap. I know people always make comparison to the bull market of 2021 or the bear market days and early 2016 levels and so on and so forth. That was the wild west when it comes to crypto. But now the landscape is shifting. I can personally think we're not actually in the wild west.
I think like the issue is, yes, crypto is becoming more stable, but I also think that the gains that people were seeing before are going to become less and less at this point. We're going to see less gains. We're going to see less profit, as people were wondering. It's gonna not be as the same as like 2021, because we are preparing for retail. That's also possible.
Anymore. We're actually kind of getting away.
Like, you can kind of see the retail was not here yet, and we were expecting retail, and there was no retail. It was mostly institutions which are buying, but they're buying for retail to buy. Like, retail could be here in 2-3 years. It doesn't even have to be now. They're just going to keep buying and buying and buying.
Away from that, you could pretty much argue that altcoins are still in that category, but we're talking about the big boys. We are kind of shifting out of that and, going into the mainstream media. And obviously,
This is good to see, but I still feel crypto is very, very niche when you think about it. It's not even close to being the big key player yet.
Mainstream, financial sector when it comes to, this market that is emerging, at a very fast pace. Not only that, we just don't want to be forgetting, just kind of compare, some of the equity, to me.
So ETF will purchase more than 100 on new supply of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana institution demands. I mean, they kind of have to hold BTFs. We saw these buys already when they got it for cheap at 45 cents. They don't have to hold anymore. So this is, the real deal. And I'm kind of worried, are we ever going to be going back to 2021? 2021 was peak crypto. Can we even hit back like something like that?
We are finding ourselves below the key support line once again, but we're sitting at...
So yeah, it does seem like it's trying to retest this area, as I told you guys. I'm going to wait it out now because it's not a safe trade. I don't think it's a safe trade, and I don't like to make a trade that I don't feel is safe. I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to assess my risk. I'm already down 18 cents today. You can join me on 2bit. Link in the description below, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to play the waiting game here. But we do have some best news so far. Craziest news yet. This really caught my attention. 2bit Crypto posted this. So what's happening with XRP is this news really crazy, or is it just priced in? Because I feel like a lot of stuff is priced in at this point.
That may be playing out favorably into a 2026 big move for XRP. Go ahead, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button by turning that notification bell to all as well. You don't want to miss a live stream and our daily content that we're putting out for you guys. So with that being said, let's get into it. So I thought it was worth starting at the core foundations of what Ripple is all about. We broke recently that there is some big partnerships and some big companies using a lot of these that already are integrating with Ripple. Well, 100 banks.
So yeah, this is the big thing that other exchanges cannot do. Smash that like button, guys. And what Ripple is doing, and is why people are watching Ripple, is because they have the power that nobody else has. Again,
recently that
they are the big partner in terms of like working with banks. And again, this is what a lot of these crypto coins want to do. But if you don't have the connections, it's going to be hard, very hard. So yeah, XRP is going big on this.
Bessent announcing that we may see stimulus checks heading out to US citizens in Q1 of 2026 is the first tick in the box that the key elements of driving markets higher is about to play out. Everyone assumed it would be later on in the year. Scott Bessent looks like he's going to push liquidity into the market. And right now, for me, that is the one big thing that we need. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, it doesn't matter. Liquidity is the big driver. And in an institutionally driven market right now, this would be a very welcome injection. Now, there are also some things that we need to be aware of that I think are playing out behind closed doors. Disclaimer, this is a speculation thought process that I've gone through, but I want to get your thoughts down in the comments. We know back from Ripple Swell that NASDAQ chair and CEO Adena Friedman joined Ripple president Monica Long to discuss
potential of digital assets and on-chain finance. I mean, yeah, this is awesome. It is good, but it's going to take a massive, massive time before we see any further development at that point.
It's got to do with the crypto market. All of the ETF products that we have seen, all the latest ETFs for XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they trade on the NASDAQ. And this is going to be a big news. So imagine the fact that not only can you trade crypto 24/7 on all your favorite exchanges, you may even be able to trade XRP ETFs for a 23 hours a day. And talking about exchanges, don't forget, check out BitUnix, our all over the world.
So yeah, you kind of get the idea, guys, is we got to do a price prediction here. Whales have now been frustrated because the huge rally, the second rally we had back in July that came a bit early, got stopped out at 3.66. So again, inflation induced, it's not fully full on bull rally. It's not $4, it's not $5, and I don't think it's going to be happening this rally. Is it better than, December 2021? Obviously. It's way better than that. It's way more people watching. It has the potential, but it's going to be a slow grind from here until Bitcoin does something. And again, I'm going to take a trade, guys, on XRP as well. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, it makes a pretty clear idea right now that the craziest news we have is NASDAQ. And guys, I was telling you back in some time ago, is XRP is becoming a big thing. As XRP going on, the public stock is probably going to be the first crypto company in the history that's going public, except if we don't count the exchanges like Coinbase, right?
The percent of people to get in, if we see...
So they're not going to be just tied to XRP prices. They're not going to be tied to XRP prices. They're trying to get tied with the global economy.
Mass adoption from the banking sector, finance sectors, and many other people. Well, this could be the moment that XRP truly rallies up. Young Hoon Kim, one of the biggest IQ holders of XRP, does in fact say that XRP may be a strong move following the Japanese rate.
Okay, so this is the thing. XRP has a big support from Japan and Korea, not the countries, don't get me wrong, from the traders. And this is a lot of volume, big whales there. So again, another W for XRP. Great news. The whale buyers are so, this is just like spam comments anyway. But you get the idea is that Japan and XRP, again, they're focused on technology. They don't care about the XRP coin. Actually, I think XRP Ripple, while Ripple is focusing away from the coin and focusing more on being a better product in terms of technology. And this is what I like to see, because they realized that a lot of these crypto companies have now went bankrupt once the bear market hits, because they cannot make revenue, or they have to keep selling millions of dollars of coins. They want to be profitable and use XRP just as a payment tool. So it kind of makes sense, guys. It definitely makes sense that XRP is going to stay here for the long run. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments below. And if you guys want to join me, join on 2Bit. I'm going to be opening a long here for XRP because it does seem like 1.87 is the bounce back. Of course, always take a stop loss, guys. Bam, $2, and we're going to take a trade. So I'm going to be back in the next video, and let me know what you guys think. So we have, this might be the end for Solana. I don't think people understand how serious this is yet. If this goes through, Solana might drop below $5 in the next 2 years. I feel like I'm in 2022 again, because this is literally what I read in 2022. This doesn't look good. I'll explain. Over the past few days, a federal court allowed a second amended class action complaint to move forward involving Pump Funds, Solana Labs, and multiple Solana-linked entities. This isn't a CT drama or anything like that. U.S. court saying there's enough to pursue legal action. The core allegation is brutal. There's a lot of stuff on Twitter here. I'm not reading all that. My brain can't comprehend it. I'm not going to read all that, unfortunately. So yeah, this is we're seeing tons and tons of news here, but I'm not using Twitter to get my crypto data overall. I'm just going to rely on the hard facts, guys. I'm going to rely on what's important here and where to go from here. So if we check the prices, you got to look, when you're looking at the prices, Solana update, I love Clinics. I watched
to
him
this
for
new
some time, but it seems like Solana is like trying to build its own treasury. It's trying to not just become a meme coin type of coin. It's trying to go further ahead and do the next thing. Like, you know, be its own factor. So I'm definitely really, really excited on what Solana can do, because yeah, it does have the community. It's missing some of the products yet. Again, how many cryptos have their own Solana phone? I feel like crypto gaming is not that big as people claim it to be. Like, I know a lot of people like Alex Becker claim gaming is big, and I think it is. I think it's very good. So don't take me for granted here. I just feel like it's gonna take some time for, you know, all this stuff to be integrated into games. I think a lot of people will not accept it and not want to integrate it, but it's already in some way, just not involving crypto in general. So what's next for Solana is trying to go more corporate way, treasuries. From what I saw, Solana phone, which people literally bought the phone and resold it because it had free Doge on it during the bull run. That's what I remember. So they made every phone they bought, they made $100. So if you bought 20 Solana phones, you literally made $200 and sent it to one wallet.
Of amazing
on each phone.
Developments for Solana-based projects. So fundamentally, I do think that the range that we have built right here between 144 and 126 will hold. And that's an opportunity, in my opinion, because I think short term, with Bitcoin being a little bit weaker, with a lot of data this week, we have non-farm payrolls and unemployment rates, for example, this week, today, to be fair. We have CPI data on Thursday. That can cause a lot of volatility. So I think with that volatility, and this is also something I told you last time, we can spike down quite aggressively, right? We can spike down into this area right here between 125, which we have already done, and 115. So when we spike down into that, it depends on the news, right? I mean, if the news is very bad, like if we get unemployment rates that's higher than expected, that's bad.
I mean, this is good. Unemployment rate, awesome, amazing, but we gotta check what Solana is actually doing, like the products, the prices on the chart. I'm not looking at macro trends, I'm looking at the data. Are the whales buying and selling? And guys, if you wanna get started on Solana with me, link in the description below. I am trading on 2bit. I'm doing a challenge with also a trading bot, which again is not guaranteed profit, but seems like there was a rally up here, 270, and it's now at 120. And I don't think, at least personally, I think the worst case scenario was literally over. I don't think we're going to see $20 anymore. But it does mean a lot of whales who bought Solana for $20 are going to keep selling it at 270 and 120. So expect some long-term positions like profit taking at around these levels. You know, they bought it, they maybe didn't buy it at 20 and they bought it at like 82. And a lot of these whales, in my opinion, are going to take the profit, 155% profit at that matter. So let's say they bought it here. They made 200% profit, and now they're selling it even for 78% profit. It kind of makes sense. Link in the description below as well. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, it kind of makes sense right now that Solana whales are gonna take that juicy profit.
Down into this area right here between 125, which we have already done, and 115. So when we spike down into that, it depends on the news, right? I mean, if the news is very bad, like if we get unemployment rates.
So yeah, I think that's major macro markets, but overall, it's... we could be going a bit further down. Like, this is where Clinics and I are a bit different. I am saying we could go a bit further down depending on the major macro markets. That's true. That's the same thing he said. But I don't think that 60, below 60 is going to be like the bottom. Like, it is going to be go lower than 55, 60. From what data you're asking me? I'm always looking at support levels. And again, this might be old candles, so don't take me for granted. These are candles from 23, but when you look at crypto, a lot of people check their wallets. So we can use new data. We can literally use data from August. We can use data from June. Because you're going to say 23, that's too old, right? And you're going to see here, 6th of April this year, this was the bottom, 103. So yeah, it could go further down from 123 to 100. Do we know? We don't know. But it gives you a pretty clear idea of what's going to happen. I'll keep you guys updated with more news, but this is what we have for now, for Solana at least. Ripple XRP has been, it's been absolutely going wild, but at some point, the whales will be like, hey, that's cheap. It's holding critical levels. Let's sell it out. Let's sell everything. Let's start buying again, because these levels are what I like to buy. So yeah, guys, what do you personally think? I think it's a pretty awesome idea. I think XRP has amazing price potential right now, and we're gonna be seeing more pretty much soon as well. Let's sell.